I was wondering how long it was going to take for this to really come out. And finally it did. Cardano seems ready for a fight. Now, what I'm talking about is these security charge allegations against ADA. All right. What they did was they came out on Twitter yesterday and they made a press release. They said the Cardano Foundation disagrees with the recent qualifications of ADA as a security under U.S. law. We look forward to the continued engagement with regulators and policymakers to achieve legal clarity and certainty on these matters. Now, what you need to remember is that they aren't necessarily talking about, working with the SEC for clarification. All right. This now goes beyond this. The SEC is not playing ball with anybody. They are not providing clarity. They're just saying, hey, follow the laws. Well, how do we follow the laws? And then they basically go, I don't know. We just kind of make them up as we go. So what we're going to be seeing is a lot of engagement with lawmakers, those members of Congress. You're going to see the same thing from other coins that have been classified or alleged as securities as well. You're going to see it happen with big exchanges like Coinbase and Binance. There's going to be a big, massive shift, a big push towards regulatory clarity this year. This year, I do think we get some direction. Now, what they're probably going to do is anything that has to do with court cases regarding these securities, like you've seen with things like Ripple and Library and stuff like that, it's going to be pushed off as much as it can. The reason why is if they can get some of this clarity in place, some of this regulation in place through Congress, we are then going to be able to have the SEC basically will have no ground to stand on. That's kind of the whole point here is we need to have some laws in place providing some sort of framework regarding crypto. It's been needed for quite some time. Ever since the SEC started their witch hunt a couple of years ago, we've known at this point we're going to come to a crossroads, right? Where they were going to start targeting more than just a few at a time. They were going to really try to take down as much as they can. And the unfortunate thing is it seems to be I don't want to say it's all on a single person, but Gary Gensler seems to be the focal point of this. And it makes sense because he alone seems to be acting on his own volition. It doesn't necessarily, back up the views of the members of the SEC. Now, this is going to take some time. Okay. But I do think this year is when we do, in fact, get some regulatory clarity, especially if a lot of these lawmakers want to keep their jobs, because we know that elections are coming up next year. And this is kind of the foresight that they need to have in mind. They need to be prepared for a possible little bit of turnover. Okay. That's all I have to say. But I'm glad to see that the Cardano Foundation is not stepping down in this regard. They plan to continue moving forward. They plan to fight this thing just like others have. Okay, there's an all-out war coming, and right now you basically have all these different entities banding together against a common enemy, and that's the SEC. Now, I do have to say it. I apologize for so much of this content lately being, surrounding what's going on with the SEC, but we have to understand the gravity of what's going on here. This is an absolute war, and it's for the survival of crypto here in the US. We know that the SEC wants to, it seems like, take it down completely and prevent us from, any use whatsoever. And we've seen how well that's worked out in other countries. It hasn't, because guess what? Innovation continues to move forward. People will find a way. So, and what's stupid about this is you've even seen countries that have banned crypto before, like China, that are now turning around and approving it. So it doesn't make sense, but I thought I'd share that with you guys. I'm glad to see this. I'm glad that they finally came forward and addressed what's going on. And we're going to be looking forward to a lot of these releases, in the near term and long term. I'd love to see their direction, their plans, and how they're going to go about making things clear. So appreciate you guys. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you think that there is going to be some sort of regulatory framework put in place this year. I truly think there is, but I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. We're going to get through these times together. And when we look back throughout history, we'll know that we were on the right side. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I said that. I appreciate you guys. Have a great day, but I do appreciate you. Make sure you show your love below if you guys haven't, but I hope to catch you guys in the next one. Take care.